So you woke up today, and that wasn't guaranteed, but you were given another 24 hours, just like me. Another attempt at the day, at your week, at your life, and another adjustment you can make, another opportunity to build again and do something better than you did yesterday, right? Most people waste that, and still they say they love their life. Love isn't what you feel, it's what you maintain. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Word Forward, episode 2. And we're talking about love right now. So love is in the air all week. I figured it was only right. But we're not going to speak on the emotional version of it. We're not talking about the dinners and the romance, the kisses. We're talking about the discipline version of love, okay? And let's define this correctly, y'all. Love is a deep commitment to someone's well-being. Okay? It's not a mood, and it's not just excitement for the moment. Okay? It's real commitment, locking in. And that means that you show up. Even when you don't feel like it, you show up. And that commitment means that you move even when you're tired. You move with conviction, right? And it means that you want to maintain whatever you're committed to, even when no one's around, even when no one's watching. Okay? So if love is commitment, then what are you committed to when it comes to yourself? There's a scripture, right, that says God is love. And whether you are heavily religious or you lean into the faith or not, it's something simple about that you woke up today and you took a breath and you realize once you open your eyes, you have more time. A lot of people don't get that luxury. And that's the grace that God gives us all every single day, right? That's love in action. That's consistency. And if you're given another day, if you're given more time to build, to create, to position yourself, then why are you distracting yourself? And why distract other people that are moving forward towards that goal? Why? Why don't you have self-care for yourself? Don't you want to feel comfortable? I mean, after a while, that's what people feel like. Self-care is marketed as comfort, self-care. But real self-care is just structure, right? It's like therapy. It's that moment when you have to stretch your body because you feel like it hurts. Or when you want to clean your space, even when you know no one's coming over, right? When you make your bed in the morning, and I'm not just talking about sheets. Making your bed is momentum. It's a complete start. It's the first thing you do in the morning, the first thing you do in the day that proves that you love yourself. You love your space, right? The first action that you complete, the first goal. And it's a small win, but it tells your brain that we made a move today, right? And in small moves, small orders, they create way bigger discipline, right? It creates a stability. And we can go deeper than that because people confuse love with just emotion, right? And emotion is temporary, it fades. But love could be sustained when you feel motivated enough. That moment when you feel broke or when you are broke, but you don't feel broke, right? You can still feel inspired to do something. Or even when you're feeling unhealthy, you might feel like you have a little weight to you that you might want to lose. But see, that's that self-confidence that's pulling through. That's the love that you have for yourself that recognize something is off. Let me get to work. Right? And, we all want that confidence, but a lot of us are unprepared. So when you talk about love and you wonder if that moment disappeared, if love ever disappeared from you when you were tired or when you needed to put in a little bit more strength, but you just didn't have it. Is that really love? Because that's when they say that's unconditional, right? Unconditional love. We need to have unconditional love for ourselves. We can't wait for the handout to make us feel better, Let's talk about something that other people, that everyone avoids sometimes. This is a tough topic. Money, right? And when you say you love yourself, it's just not about the physical. It's more mental. And the game that we have to play every day is a hard mental game. And it gets easier when you're in a position. And when you put yourself in a financial position that can just turn your whole perspective on life. So let's talk about that first time I lost a few dollars. When the market went red, I panicked, you know? I pulled my money right on out of the stock market. I said, oh, no, not me. I told myself that was a smart move. And in a day, when the stock bounced back, it cost me more to re-enter the same trade that I took my money out of. And that lesson stung. You know, that was another expensive lesson to learn. And because I wasn't in the market long and I thought it beat me, but it was the FOMO that beat me. It was the fear of losing out, of missing out. And I tried to double down on something that I already pulled away from. And now I know something that I want to teach a lot of other people that don't know this and are afraid when the stock market dips or when it's in the red. That's the time that you learn the fundamentals and you believe in what you learn, and you position yourself, because you earn bigger returns when you buy with discipline instead of your emotions. Okay? So, you know, your FOMO will cripple you and cripple your positioning, and your discipline can rebuild it just as fast as you feel like you lost. You'll win again. You just need to take your time and don't haste the money, because then you'll waste the money. If you have $50 or even $100, you take that $100 and you drop it into a savings account, right? And you think you're doing okay by just saving $100. Maybe you do that twice a month. And in the savings account, it collects dust. You don't have a high yield on your savings account. The percentage, you're not going to get back enough dividend for them holding on to your money. And that's not loving yourself. What I suggest, because this is something that I do and I was taught to do, is put your money into the stock market, because money in motion will make more money. When it's sitting there and it's collecting dust, it's just collecting dust. So you want to take at least $100, $200 a month, starting off. This is for small starters, and put that in an IRA account. It doesn't have to sit there in the IRA, right? You could open up an IRA account with any brokerage, you know. But I suggest, if you're starting off, to go with like Webull or E-Trade or something like that. But you can take that money, put it in an IRA, and then use that IRA to buy the stock that you want to use, the stock that you want to multiply, right? You want to take position in, and that also puts your money in motion. Okay, that's just a tip for anyone that just felt like they don't understand that part of the game. It's that easy to love yourself and to not let your money just sit there, and it will create financial stability in the future. And that's loving yourself, you know? That's a constant play, consistency that places it into assets every week. And instead of the distractions from the world right now, we don't have to listen to what's going on, because they'll tell us, oh, the market's red, it is crashing, it's burning. Yeah, but red means good. That means it's on sale. When the market turns red, most people panic, but that means it's discounted ownership right now. Like, it's time to buy. It's almost like we love discounts at the mall, right? Well, now it's time to go shopping. It's time to spend some racks. We love sales. And when that opportunity is knocking, that means it's time to go ahead and spend some of that positioning money and pull up some plays. And literally 3 to 5 years of doing this, putting yourself in a situation to form this system, is self-care, the best form of love you could create for yourself, you know. But when that opportunity feels uncomfortable, we usually hesitate, you know. But the system doesn't reward emotional reaction. It rewards the discipline over 3 to 5 years, and that could change your whole trajectory. And it's not an overnight thing. It's never an overnight thing, but it's never a hype thing. I don't tell people to gamble. I wouldn't advise you to take your last and put it into the stock market. This is something that if you had no money and you felt you were too scared for the stock market right now, well, go to SoFi or Capital One or any bank that gives you percentage on your savings and any high yield like that. Make sure you put your money in there every week. Stay disciplined on that. That's another way to do it. That's another way to love yourself. Or you'll be loving your future. Your future self will thank you, because emotions evaporate after a while, right? Emotional moves evaporate. You don't want to make emotional plays, but that discipline to compound, and that's what we want. We want to be happy that we lived another day to make another play. And imagine sitting across from yourself, right? A 40-year-old you, or a 50-year-old you, and that you is looking at yourself, right? Imagine what that person would say. Well, imagine what he or she would say to you. Would they say, thanks for positioning me. Thank you for making those plays. Or would they say, hey, you played around too long. What the hell is wrong with you? All those moves that you could have made that put us in position. That's not loving yourself. We're talking about love here. This is a whole love episode and self-care, being that provider, and you maintain it, because whatever you water is going to grow, right? And whatever you neglect is going to fade, and you don't want to get that to apply to your business or to your body, your health, your mind, your money, your relationship, your reputation even, because if you don't maintain the value in yourself, if you don't work on your daily 7, your daily routine, and I'm writing a book called The Daily 7 right now. So we'll talk more about that. If you hear me mention Daily 7, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your routine, because whatever you do, however you do one thing is how you do everything, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. And, you need to value yourself, because no one's going to do it for you. The repetition in your branding, your logo, showing up, keeping your word. Right? Staying consistent. I know it don't seem exciting, but you can't fake self-respect. It shows all in your posture and how you execute. People won't believe in you if you don't show that you love your life. Your habits should reflect that. And let me ask you an uncomfortable question, right? Do you keep promises to yourself at all? Or do you follow through with the things that you say you're going to do? And do you need to do this with someone checking on you, or can you make moves without surveillance? Okay. Do you invest in your own mind? Do you read enough? Are you trying to avoid all of the hard things on purpose? I just need to know, because before you go out there and buy flowers for anybody, make sure you buy flowers for yourself. Okay. You deserve to be loved first. When you need something to be fixed in your life, fix it. Okay. Invest into something that's going to polish you in the future. Okay. And clean up, be disciplined in that. Take disciplined actions today, and you're going to call that love, self-care, self-love, okay? We're going to work on ourselves and take each other accountable, all right? Over here, this is what we do. We push that word forward, and I appreciate y'all pulling up on me. It's been another good week, another good video, another good recording, and I just want y'all to know that I want y'all to win. That's my love language to y'all. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep doing this together. Check me out on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I appreciate y'all pulling up. And if you need to find me, I'll leave the link in the description. Okay. So let's work on this. Let's love each other. Let's love ourselves. I'll chop it up with y'all on the next one.